other questions here that I've been asked. So I'm just gonna go through them and answer them as best I can. Again, I'm so sorry to keep looking down here because it's got cues. I don't want to miss anything out, and I've written it all down in points, so I'll get on with it. So the first question is, what amount of information did you and Dad have to take on board? Oh my God, lots. So we had information on her diagnosis, those big sheets, we had to read them up. We had information on her fetal surgery, so when that was going on, what the fetal surgery is, what symptoms can they be, what's the risks, sets the risks of fetal surgery and stuff. When she was given her first shunt, we had, this is a shunt, information about what the shunt was doing, why it was good for her, and the signs. So we had to have all this, and how, how to deal with it all. So we had then information on a cathetering, how do you catheter her, how do you don't, and that was just verbal information. So people feeding you information about this, and you learn to think, okay, I can do this. Obviously, that's why I say it's so important to take time out for yourself, because then you can do it better. If you're the only one, and I remember I was really bad at this, I used to want to do everything myself, and I had to learn, because my sisters used to say to me, you have to learn to accept help, and that is so important. Information on her bowels was not that much, but information on her physio was a lot. Her tally pays, her exercise stretches, what physio to do, so those type of stuff. So there was a lot of information, and there still is, because now with her DLA, everything, letters come through, there's reports come through, appointments come through. So I've got a little folder now where I just pop, it's in sections. So it's in neuro, uro, ortho, physio, pediatricians and stuff like that. So it's all in sections. So I know I've got it all documented and it's all with me. Someone says, how has your life changed? It changed incredibly. I mean, now, not so much, now that we've adapted to it, but it did make you think, oh God, from now on, we're going to have to plan everything. So if you want to go somewhere, we're going to have to plan it. So when it was her cathetering, obviously I couldn't leave her there for longer than 2 days. One day, okay, I can avoid the first 6 hours of something. More than that, I would have to catheter her, so I had to teach other people how to catheter her as well. But the positive things is you become the ultimate planner. You plan everything. You know how to do everything. You plan everything. You know she's going to need this. And it just happens. Like for shunt revisions, if she's getting sick, before I used to panic. Now, get the bag out, put the stuff in. I'm going to need this. Pop it all in. Ready, let's go hospital. And that's how comfortable I am now. At the beginning, it was very, very daunting. But right now, it just comes as second nature. And I take it on my stride that, okay, this was going to happen, then she's going to be better. I've written, you become amazing at receiving bad news, because you do. You tend to think, okay, throw anything at me. Like, especially in life, when you see people complaining about certain things, you're just like, really? Nothing phases you, because you've had the biggest shock of your life. You've had the biggest shock to your system, the biggest worry, the biggest thing of like not knowing what's going to happen, having no control over your life, and you've had to get over it. Once you've got over it, because I remember after that happened, my father-in-law was diagnosed with cancer, and my husband said, I remember he said to me, I don't know, I feel as if I'm equipped to deal with it. And it was probably because of what we went through with Nusaiba. And I've become a support system for her, so I realised that sometimes I need to get rid of my own insecurities, because there's no way I'm going to put them on her. So if I'm worried, if I'm thinking, I'm not going to reflect on her, especially when she gets older, because she doesn't know better. She doesn't know any worse. She is living her life as it's supposed to be, and that's how we have to make her feel. I've written, you cherish every little moment. Every little moment. She says, Mom is the top of the world. She moves her, like, she flinches her legs slightly. It's like, wow, it's amazing. She's just so loved by so many people in my life. They all love her. She cries. She doesn't even go to them, but they still love her. There's little things like her sitting up straight. It's like, oh God, she can sit up straight. It's so amazing. And so little milestones, you just cherish every single one of them, which normally with my other kids, you probably just surpassed slightly. You learn that your plans can suddenly change. So something can happen. You know what I mean? One day you have a certain plan, she starts puking, that's not a plan anymore, you have to take her to hospital, and you learn to take every day as it comes. So what I do now is if I look too much into the future, I'd probably start crying all the time again, like the way I used to be, because I would think, how's she gonna go out in the wheelchair? Will she be okay? What if she can't go with her friends? How's she gonna feel? I don't do it. I just shut it out of my system because I think to myself, today and tomorrow, today and tomorrow. What is she like today? Get through today, tomorrow. The only good things we plan is if we're going to go on holidays or anything like that, we have to plan that in the future. And now we have to plan it because obviously I have to plan, I have to see if there's a hospital nearby, if something happens to her, is there a hospital, where's the hospital that's going to be nearby, and you know, how would I deal with it. And you become more assertive of talking to people, because I'm never really good at that, because for myself I can't ask anybody for anything, but for other people I can. So for her, I ask the consultants the questions. I will ask them. If I'm not comfortable with something, I will ring them up and I will say, can I speak to so-and-so secretary? This is my concern. When can she have an appointment? You learn to be assertive. You learn to get stuff done because you want information, they've got information. If you're going to be passive about it, you won't know. If you're going to be aggressive about it, definitely you ain't going to get the information. And if you've got a good rapport with staff members and you're polite, you're kind, they will be more communicative towards you. And you learn to bug everybody. I never used to ask for help, ever. Now I do. I take time out for myself. I ask for help, and it's okay because people are there to help you. If you've got people to help, there are people there who don't have no one to help them. So if you've got people to help you, utilize it, otherwise you'll go mad. Then it asks you things that have helped you as a family. And one big thing for me was my family knowing what this condition was. When I was first diagnosed and I had to tell my family, there were certain people who didn't know. So I used to pick the phone and try and tell them, and I used to start bursting out in tears. When I told my niece, I think it was, she said to me, oh, don't worry, we've got a 7-year-old at the makeup centre and she loves her life. Everyone's just jealous of her because she's in a wheelchair all the time. And I remember that gave me a bit of solace that, okay. So at least she'll be happy, you know, she'll be happy, so that's fine, I can do that. And now what I do with the Saber, I've made a TikTok account of her own. I'm opening like these like YouTube channels for her, so to make her, for people to see and for people to find disabilities as a norm. Because if you see them around, you'll accept them. Because some people will say there's more disabled children. No, there isn't, because before disabled children wouldn't survive. There's actually an enhancement in science that allows those children to live. So now they are around living on the technology and the support that we can give them. And especially in this country, I'm so grateful that she can get that. But my family being in MENCAP really helped me. So that's why I tried to open the area for my daughter, that if I can talk to different people about her condition. And I remember I wrote this post on Facebook when I had her, and I got so many responses from it that, you know, people go through these things, they go through other things as well. You need to be aware of it so that you can help people around you. Ask them, do you need help? I remember when what my niece did for me was when Naseeb was born, she got me in touch with this set of 6, I think it was seminars that were or meetings for the contact group. And I remember that helped me a lot. I would recommend anybody. She was 9 weeks at the time. When I went in, I was like, I felt a bit like out of place because there was parents there whose kids had grown up and were about 10, 12 or something like that. But every time someone had to talk, when I went there, I would just be fine in front of everybody else. When I was in this group, I would just go, because I felt as if they knew what I was feeling. So I'd get all emotional and stuff, because always home was still playing them. But the amount of information they gave us there, it made me realise that no one's going to leave you alone. They're not just going to abandon you. There is a system in place, and there are people in place to deal with these things. And there's they told me things about the kind of stuff that's available for younger children who help out. My daughter always helps me out, so I know that's available there for her. There's who to contact, when to contact them. We had a course on how to speak to consultants, how to get information you want. They even told me about DLA, because I remember I would never have applied for DA. I would have felt embarrassed, and I would have felt as if like, no, why am I trying to get money off my daughter? But they were like, no, this is money that your daughter is entitled to because she has such severe, like she has disabilities. And they helped me fill out, they got me in contact with somebody to help me fill out the form. I filled out the form, she's got it, I can save it. So now whenever she needs equipment for herself, I can use that money on her. And they put me through this, they got me through all this. And I know now if I've got any questions, I can just ring contact up and find out what's going on. And that is really, really important. And Shine as well, with Shine, I had Laura, who is a child of the West Midlands, and I'm in contact with her. She's now made a WhatsApp group of all us parents of the West Midlands, and so we can liaise with each other, we can ask each other questions if we need something, you know. It just feels as if you're not on your own, you're together. And there was, the other thing that happened was Facebook forums. So I'm a big, you know, people say don't go on Google, let's try and don't do it. But Facebook forums are brilliant. There are so many parents out there who are facing the same thing as you. So you put a question up, you'll be inundated with messages of support, of people giving advice of what they went through. Obviously, take the doctor's advice for something severe, but even little things like how do you make them eat, how do you do this, and then sharing pictures. That was one thing when I was pregnant, when I started researching these things, when I could see pictures of children happy, that really helped me through my pregnancy. So that's all. That's the help. That was the big help as a family for me. My family members knowing and being able to work with MenCap. It says, yeah, when we meet other parents, yeah, or what should professionals consider when they look at children with this? Firstly and foremost, spina bifida is a snowflake illness. Not one child, let's say the child had the exact same lesion as my child, the outcome of that lesion could be completely different, because nerve endings are such that you don't know which one's damaged, which one's not damaged. They could come running from the same lesion, but one could not have been damaged, one could have been damaged. You don't know unless you ask the parent exactly what they're capable of and what they're not capable of. Especially when it comes to fetal surgery babies, because fetal surgery babies have now, the damage has stopped at 24 weeks or 25 weeks where they've stopped it. So you don't know that some of the nerves might be damaged but not completely lifeless. So they might be repairing. So, and there are some people saying to me to look to see where she is at 3 years, but some people say actually as far as 5 years, that you could be surprised in 5 years time that it's something she might be able to do something that she couldn't do before, because nerves generate really slowly, a small amount at a time. So ask the child, don't assume because you've been to one parent and they've got this many cases, that means the other one will have it as well, because the other one might not. Like if my daughter can't walk, somebody with the same lesion probably could walk. So it's one of them ones. One thing I find really important as a professional, no matter what type of professional you are or what your relationship with that parent is, always ask, how are you? How was your day today? Because there have been so many times where I've had a really horrible day, and I've been with the physios and I've been fine, and then one day they've come down my house and they've gone, okay, so how was your day? And I've just gone really emotional, and then they're there for you because they've asked a question. You became emotional. If they had left and not asked me, I would never be able to tell them. And I'm actually quite vocal as well, but there's some people who are not vocal, who just think I'm just burdening everybody. So then if you don't ask, they won't tell you. They will never tell you themselves. And always remember, when you're speaking to the parent, on an emotional day and a bad day, like the catheter's not been working, the child's been really irritated about the catheters, not drinking the milk properly, doesn't want to do physio, anything like that, that's a bad day. You might meet him on a bad day, they might be grumpy, they might be something like that. Take that into account. And then on a good day, they might be a completely different person. So take what they are on a good day as what they are, who they are. And on a bad day, give them that leeway of like, okay, they've had a bad day. Okay, and this final question that I love. It says here, if there was one thing that you could go back and tell yourself at that time when you were diagnosed, what would it be? And this is quite emotional for me because I always feel that I wasted 6 months of my life, completely wasted them, because I felt broken. I felt as if like, what am I going to do? And I just didn't enjoy anything, any of my pregnancy. I didn't enjoy it. I was just like, man, I didn't want to get clothes for the baby. I didn't want to do anything. And now she's just so beautiful and she's so lovely. As soon as she was born, I adapted to her so well. And I think to myself, why did I do that? I mean, it taught me now. That's why I take it every day at a time. But that's what I've written. Don't cry. Don't waste your time worrying, because are not in control. And when the time comes, you'll adapt. I've written, for the first time parents, you won't know any different. That will be your norm. Your child developing that way will be your norm. You will enjoy everything. And for children who had parents who have had children before, you will adapt. That's what you need to learn. That you might think, I've had children before, I'll always know the difference. You'll adapt. You won't even know. That will become your norm. That will be just your norm. And enjoy your pregnancy. Enjoy your pregnancy. Be kind to yourself. Look after yourself, because you're going to need your energy when the baby's born. And learn to take time out for yourself. That's really, really important. Take time out for yourself, and teach anybody else. Anybody else who says to you, teach me this so then I can help you, teach them. Don't put it off. Don't say I can do it. Teach them, because one day you might need it, because you want to go out for an outing, or you want to go out for your friend's party. Because if you don't get out, then you're inundated with, and you're trying to do all this by yourself. But me and my husband, we try to share everything. If I need to go out on an outing, he was completely not hands-on with the other children. But with her, he's helped out so much, and that's really, really important. I hope this has all been informative for you.